Said, yep, yep. You already know what it is. Southpaw Talk with Southpaw Slick. And today's video is going to be based on a question I got from one of my male Instagram followers. And the question was, do women really like dad bods? He himself says that he doesn't feel as confident since he gained weight during the pandemic, which I'm sure a lot of us have put on some weight during the pandemic. I know I did. But he said ever since then, he hasn't really, like taken himself to the gym, and, he got caught up with work. So it's like the weight that he gained during the pandemic, it kind of just stuck. But he's not crazy big either. And I did look at his profile, and yeah, he has a little, gut, or like some people would say, like a bare belly, but nothing crazy, like still relatively in shape, just a little out of shape. And there's nothing wrong with that. But going back to the question, do women really like dad bods? Now, I like the way this is worded, because you do see women nowadays, I'll say within the past like 10, 15 years, you've been seeing more and more women say that they like a guy with a dad bod, or they think dad bods are attractive. Now, before I even started shooting this video, I spoke to one of my female coworkers about it, and she herself said that, I'm trying to get it right. She said herself that she actually prefers a dad bod because a guy that is overly muscular or extremely fit is very self-absorbed or very narcissistic. They're too full of themselves, and that's a big turnoff to her. Like, it comes across as feminine to her. And I told her, well, if a guy is, dedicated or disciplined to the point where he takes care of his body the way he does, of course he's going to be proud of that and going to want to, show it off and get that validation. I worked hard to gain this body, so of course I'm going to be a little bit full of myself. Like, that makes sense. And she's like, yeah, I guess, but that's a turn off to me. And with a dad bod, it's cool. Like, it's realistic. It's realistic. And I just left it at that, because I'm like, you go do your thing, take your break, I'm going to take mine. But it's realistic. I like the way she put that. It's realistic. Realistic equals authenticity. That's what a dad bod represents. It's not something that's unobtainable. Also, whereas a guy who is like super fit might be for some people. Like I said, like having a dad bod is a sign of confidence and happiness. The fact that a guy can go out in the world as himself is attractive to women. Women are attracted to confidence before looks. And I know a lot of black pillars are going to debunk what I just said, but it is what it is. I'm speaking from personal experience. Me, myself, like being intimate with women, I'm saying like during the deed or the act, a lot of them, they like rubbing on your stomach and touching your man boobs, quote unquote. I said some are bigger than others, but you know what I mean. Like I said, they like it. They like the comfortability of your body. I'm saying when it comes to cuddling, they like your belly on their back. It's like an extra cushion or pillow. You know what I mean? Like women said, like the squeezable teddy bear. Like women like that shit. It's comfortable to be around. Now, to say the majority of women like it, I can't speak. I can't speak because I haven't talked to the majority of women. I haven't been involved with the majority of women, so I can't speak. But the experience I have had, it hasn't been much of an issue. It hasn't been much of an issue, even before it gets to that point. I'm saying just going up to a woman And based on first impression or initial reaction, it's been relatively positive. I said women are perfectly fine with a guy that is a little bit chubby or a little bit overweight. Women don't mind that. And some of them prefer it. Some of them prefer it. But now if you're like morbidly obese, like if you looking like fucking, see, I hate saying, I always say 600-pound life, but I'm saying there's examples that are not that extreme that women might not like. And I'm trying to think of like a celebrity that fits the bill. I wouldn't even say DJ Khaled or Rick Ross, like pre-weight loss or Fat Joe, because some women actually like them at that size. I even seen some women say they like Rick Ross when he was bigger. You know, it just fit his image more. You know, since he had that like mafioso, you know, like thing going on, like the big, you know, dude with the bald head and the beard and the suit. Like women actually like that. Like how he looked in the Magnificent video, for example. Women actually like that Rick Ross. Yeah, he's still kind of chubby. Now he has a dad bod. Before he was chubby. You know what I mean? But women like chubby. That's what I'm saying. All women are not the same. Just like we're not all the same. And even then, they might have a preference, but they're willing to date outside of their preference. You know what I mean? Like how some guys, yes, they might prefer a woman who was like slim, thick, or, you know, like petite with a nice little body, but they'll date a woman who's a little bit bigger. You know, like this has like a little fupa. You know what I mean? Like there ain't nothing wrong with that. Shit, I like that look. I like that look. I've definitely been seeing it, you know, this whole spring season, and I'm sure I'm going to see it in the summer as well. But women wearing the sundress and they got the nice little butt and the tiny fupa, you know, and I like the way it looks. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I like that shit. And once again, it's comfortability, it's familiarity. It sends different messages. You know what I mean? See, now I'm trying to compare it how I see a woman who is slightly overweight. I said they might see us the same way, but continuing on, when I look at a woman like that, I see that she's healthy enough, but she's not a so what was the word I was looking for? She's not like overly obsessed with dieting. Like, yeah, she could eat a salad, but she's perfectly fine eating some pizza or a cheeseburger too. You know what I'm talking about? They like there's not a strict diet. There you go. There's not a strict diet. Memory unlock. Memory unlock. It just made me think about the game show that, I don't know if it still comes on or not, but I'll say it was like maybe like 10 years ago, and it was called Take Me Out. And it would be a line of, I think, like 30 women, and they all had a you know, a buzzer beater light, you know, kind of like Family Feud or something. And they would bring a guy out, and it would be like 3 steps. And I think the second step is when they show what the guy does in his everyday life. One of those guys, he was fit. He was really fit, right? But when they showed what he did in his everyday life, he had like a really strict diet. Like, oh, like I don't eat any sweets, and I hunt my own meat. I don't buy meat in the store. Like he was very, very strict with his diet. You know, like there weren't a lot of liberties that could be taken. Like, you know, as far as like eating, like I said, like a cheeseburger or some chicken nuggets or chicken tenders or some fried chicken. All of that shit was out of the window. Those women, they were attracted to him at first, but once they saw the way he lived, them fucking red lights kept coming on, like, I was like, that was very telling. It just popped in my mind just now. Exactly. That's another thing a dad bod represents, or even a mom bod represents, is that, yeah, you might be cool with eating healthy, but you're also cool eating unhealthy too. It's comfortable. That's what I'm saying. It represents comfortability, happiness, confidence. These are all traits that women like, and us as men like too. At least speaking for myself, that's what I like too. I like a confident woman. I like a woman that's comfortable with herself. I like a woman who's happy with herself, the way she looks. And like I told you before, women who are a little bit overweight or even just downright BBW, those are some of the best experiences I ever had. I would say the best experiences I ever had. And I'm saying, and that's just the way it is. I like that shit. I'm saying, I mean, of course, you gotta be like nice and shapely, or wear your weight well. I'm saying I don't like a woman that's just big and sloppy. I'm saying if she's big, but she has a nice shape to her big, I can deal with that. I like that shit. And I'm saying, and women are the same way. Not no dude that's just big and fat. But I'm saying you got a nice little gut, but you got a little bit of muscle and some definition. You can get away with the bare belly. You know, like it is what it is. Women do like that shit. And I don't want to make you guys think I'm capping. I'm really not capping. I'm genuinely telling the truth. Women do like dad bods for real. Now, do the majority of women do? I can't, like I said, I can't say for certain. I'm assuming, making an assumption, pure speculation. I'm going to say probably not. I'll say more women would definitely pick a guy who is like lean and mean and built and, you know, like really fit, really muscular. Not freakazoid muscular, and I don't mean freakazoid the character, but you know, like freakish looking. You know, like your biceps are bigger than your fucking head. You got veins popping out everywhere, looking like Bane on some fucking Titan Venom. You know what I mean? I'm saying when you look like that, women think that shit is disgusting. I've seen it. I've heard it. You know what I'm saying? Like women like, ugh, or like, nah, that's too much. I've definitely seen that. I'm saying basically from personal experience, being around women, dealing with women, the main body types that most women like is a guy who is fit, but not crazy muscular. You know, like you have an athletic build. There you go. You have an athletic build. Not too crazy. They like that. Or the dad bod is fine. I'm saying as long as he's not just big and sloppy fat like Jabba the Hutt in Return of the Jedi. When you're not looking like that, you're perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. So I'm just trying to give you guys some words of encouragement, speaking on personal experience, hypotheticals, of course. I think for the most part, if you have a dad bod, you're pretty much good to go. But break is about to be over. But before I leave out, any women that watch this video, and any men that watch this video, I'm saying like any women you dealt with in the past, definitely let me know what your experiences are. And for the women, do you prefer a dad bod? Or if that's not your first choice, is it a body type that you genuinely like and you can deal with long term, if not for everlasting? I'll say for everlasting. I would want that for everyone. But break's about to be over. Southpaw Slick. I'm out.